Welcome to Story Mode. I'm your host Coco. So, what kind of a story shall we tell today? Let's talk about a story in gaming. Every game tells a story in its own way, but no other story is as good as the stories that come out from player interaction in MMO games, in other online games. So, sit back, relax, grab a beer, tea, whatever you want, play your favorite game and put this somewhere in the background, for I am about to tell you a story. I'm about to tell you a story about the little hunter that was me some times ago. Let's go back into December 2011. That's a long way ago, but let's go back then. That was the release of Dragon Soul. If you remember that raid back in the Cataclysm, that's when it was released. Back in 2011, early December or maybe late November, something like that. Basically, what I'm getting into, I was in a long-term relationship back then, 3 years and a half roughly. I was still pretty young. I am still young today, don't worry about that. And I was going through a rough patch with my girlfriend, which we shall call Axie for this particular story. And you know, it was pretty much falling apart. She always hated when I played games. She definitely hated World of Warcraft the most, because back in the Wrath of the Lich King, when we were living together and, you know, should be having lots of fun and stuff, I preferred to raid and play a lot, and she hated that. And, you know, she had her own morals and wanted to do things her own way, because she was brainwashed by her parents and they were kind of old-fashioned and shit like that. You know, doesn't matter. Things were kind of falling apart between me and her and me, her and I, something like that. And I wasn't playing Warcraft at that point, but I wanted to. And I saw the Dragon Soul is coming out and said, oh, this is gonna be the awesomest raid ever. Of course, it didn't really, you know, didn't really happen that way, but still. I saw that raid and said, oh, I really want to go back into the game. You know what? You lady, you've been annoying to me. It was, you know, a couple of months when things were going badly. I don't care what you say, I'm gonna be playing this game, because that's how I'm gonna show you that I'm an independent man that can do whatever he wants. You know, it's a silly thinking if I think about it right now, but you know, that's what I thought back then. So I started playing again, and of course I didn't play that much in Cataclysm due to the aforementioned issues, and I didn't have that much gear. I started playing on my hunter again because you know, in Wrath of the Lich King I main hunter, and started playing as a hunter again. And I met a group of friends that I played with in Wrath of the Lich King. They were also coming back to the game, and, you know, just starting a new guild with some friend of theirs, and they were raiding. They started raiding basically from nothing as well. They didn't have any gear, like I didn't have any gear. We had some gear from Heroics, from the newest Heroics basically. So it was like Firelands normal eye level, but no tier sets or anything. So these guys already had a guild. They had a guild leader, who we shall call, I don't know, Ninja Lutz, doesn't really matter. So Ninja Lutz was a feral druid. He was leading this guild. I didn't know him from before, but I did know the people that played in there. That was Shadow Priest, that we shall call Chops, and there was a Rat Paladin that we shall call Steve. So Steve and Chops were my friends from before. I played with them Wrath of the Lich King. And I knew they were good players, so they needed another person to play with them, so they bugged me. I joined their group. That was probably like 3 weeks in the Dragon Soul already, and they were progressing on Spine normal. You see, there was nothing hardcore going about this. You know, there's nothing really great hardcore or anything about it. So they were progressing on Spine, and they invite me. They say, hey, join us. This is just a normal run. And what I didn't know before is that they wanted to screw up their guild leader, the Ninja Lutz. And because they were, I don't know, they were douchebags. My friends, they were one of the greatest trolls on the realm. They were always trolling the trade chat. You know, I was really not aware of that at that point, but still, you know, they're my friends. I said, yeah, sure, I'm gonna play with you. I didn't play that much in, you know, before, so I definitely need gear. I'm gonna join you. I'm definitely awesome and amazing this game. You know, there's nothing I couldn't do. Sure, I'm gonna join you. So that's how I met a lady called, let's say, Slutty Hots, because she was druid and she was healing. Slutty Hots was a druid, and it was apparent to me right from the start that she was pretty bad at this game. She was really the greatest, but you know, she was there, so I didn't really pay attention to her. And there was another tank who was, well, he was even bigger troll on the trade chat than my two other friends, but this guy didn't really do great. Okay, I need to pause this story for just a second. Okay, unpause the story. There was someone at the door, so I had to go check that out. I'm sorry. Okay, so where were we? Okay, that knight we shall call Retard DK. Yes, he was not the greatest of the game, but he had a giant ego. So those are our players. We have Chops, we have Steve, Slutty Hots, we have Retard DK, and we have Ninja Loots. So how things went? Well, Ninja Loots led us in some fashion, but really Chops was the one who was actually raid leader. He was pretty much the best player out of those guys, and he also, for some reason, had Master Looter on. Yeah, that was a bad idea, Ninja Loots, to give Master Loot to that troll. So yeah, he had Master Loot on, and we killed the Spine. It wasn't really hard. And at that time, we were second guild on our Horde server. It was a tiny server, really small. We were the second Horde guild to do it. I think Alliance already had a couple people on the heroic stuff. There was no mythic back then, of course. And we were the second Horde guild to do it. There was another Horde guild that killed Deathwing already. So we did that. I wasn't in the guild officially yet. I was just, you know, there because I was helping. They needed people because they already kicked like 2 other hunters because they're bad. And I was awesome, of course. I was. look at me. I'm awesome. Okay. Okay. So we kill a Spine, and there's this trinket that drops. And trinkets were a really big deal back then. That was an awesome trinket. It has higher eye level than other loot from the instance, and I believe it gave you a stacking agility buff that you could just be stacking up to like 20 times, I believe. I don't remember the correct numbers, but it was an awesome trinket. I didn't think I'll get it because, you know, of course they had that feral druid that definitely needed it. But, you know, Chops being what he was, you know, he just gives it to me and says, you know, don't tell anyone. And I said, look, everyone saw. What you trying to do here, man? What you trying to push me here? But no, he gives it to me, and of course Ninja Loots goes, what the fuck is happening? Why did you just give it to him? We didn't even roll, we didn't even talk about it. I'm the guild master here, what are you doing, Chops? And Chops says, dude, you don't need it. And he says, what? Why do I not need it? It's like best in slot for me. He says, well, you're not gonna be raiding with us anymore. He says, what? I'm your guild master. Says Chops, no, you're not. And Chops leaves, and then you see Steve leave, and then you see Slutty Hots leave, and then you see Retard DK leave. But they didn't just leave the raid group, they left their guild. They all just left their guild, you know, that was it. And of course Slutty Hots whispers me, hey, you should join us. I said, sure, I mean, I'm gonna talk to Steve and Chops about it, not to you, but sure, I'm gonna join you. I need a guild, and I don't really care about this Ninja Loots that I only met and just, you know, apparently stole his trinket and all. So if I already has his trinket, you know, why not, you know, destroy his guild as well? Let's do that, sure. So everyone leaves, and we start a new guild. Let's call it Kata Lost. Something, Lost Kata. I don't know, I don't care. Something like that, let's call it like that. So of course we make our own guild. And the guild that was already up there, that already killed Deathwing, and so apparently something that I didn't know before, Steve and Chops were before in that guild, you know, just for a week or so, and trolled the GM, did bad stuff there, so they kind of had this rivalry going on, and apparently they knew each other from before. So, there was already a rivalry between that existing guild that was already trying to kill Morchok and Heroic, which, you know, it's a laughing matter, but it took them like 2 weeks before they finally did it. And, well, I see this trolling on trade chat, and then this dude whispers to me, I didn't see, who are you? Who are you, dude? Why are you whispering with me? And he says, yo, I'm the guild master of this and this guild. We already killed Deathwing. You should join us. I said, dude, I just joined this guy. I said, I don't even know you. Who are you? This is my friends. And apparently they were trying to just poach everyone who joined our new guild. But that didn't quite go well in the end. So we established our guild. Of course, next night, we meet again, and we go, and we managed to kill Deathwing because we used the save that we had from Ninja Lut's run. He was kind of mad. I saw him in Orgrimmar a bit after that. He didn't talk to me. I don't know why, but he didn't ever speak to me. And after a couple of weeks, he transferred. He transferred to another realm. I don't think he was very happy with our little tiny realm anymore. So he's gone. We have our new guild, Lost Kata. And this is the point where I start noticing that Slutty Hunts is, well, as her name would suggest, it's kind of slutty. It's kind of slut. She's kind of slutty. God damn it! Why did I say he? That completely screwed up everything. Oh boy, she's kind of slutty. And she starts whispering to me, you know, you have this awesome voice. You're so, you have a sexy voice. Something like that. I don't know. You know, we didn't even know each other. We talked in the guild chat. We spoken on the Zentrilo, whatever we had. I don't know, was Mumble Ventrilo or TeamSpeak. I don't remember what we used. I think we used all of them at some point. So, you know, we spoke before and said, sure, fine. Well, I was like 21 years old back then. In 2011, I was 21 years old. And that was at the end of December, which is the point where me and Axie finally broke up. In the end, we did it. Said, okay, it's time, it's enough. We broke up just before the Christmas and all that kinds of stuff. I felt free after that, and I'm sure she did as well. I'm sure she did her own part of the partying, like I did over the holidays. And of course, we still had our own apartment when we lived together because we were both studying. So we still had that for 3 weeks after we broke up. So of course, during the holidays, we didn't live there. But after that, we came back and we lived there for two more weeks together. Even did some nasty stuff, you know. But we were friends, apparently, friends with benefits. But sure, that kind of ended. After that, I moved out. I don't remember where she gone, but she moved out as well. And I was looking for a new apartment, and of course, while looking for that, I also played the game. Why wouldn't I be playing the game? I mean, that's what I did. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm free, man. Now I can finally play this game that I love and, you know, loved for quite a long time. But of course, I was 21 and the hormones were still singing in me, especially because now I was freshly single after 3.5 years or more. More than that. So yeah, I was chatting with Slutty Huts, and she was quite direct. I didn't mind it. Sure, I'm gonna speak to you. Why wouldn't I? And the thing was that we kind of had a good group going in a raid group. We got a bunch of good people who were friends of friends. You know, we all knew someone and brought someone in, and that's how we managed our group. Besides 2 people, who first one was that Death Knight tank, Retard DK, which was kind of a benched. He was there on some progress fights for Heroic after that, but he was mostly benched. But he stayed in the guild. He was trolling the trade chat badly. Everyone hated him on trade chat. I hated his guts. He was like one of the most annoying people I ever met, and I told him that directly, and we never really went well together. So yeah, that's, you know, that's a start. It's a good start, isn't it? And the other one was Slutty Hots. She was a healer who was kind of bad. She stood in a lot of patches of bad stuff. If there were patches of bad stuff, she would be standing in there. Her healing was kind of subpar, but she stayed in the guild. Now at this point, Chops was the guild master, and Chops was like the guy who didn't really care about anything. He was happy to troll all time long. I should say that he was like 17. He was happy to troll all time long, but when it was progress raiding, he got his game face on, and he was one of the greatest raid leaders I ever had. For his young age, he was definitely a master of tactics. He was really good at this. And there was another co-GM who was Steve, the Red Paladin, and I was the second co-GM, so I helped establish that guild. And apparently Steve was the one who brought Slutty Hots in, and the reason for that was that they were kinda, you know, Slutty Hots was talking to him like she was now starting to talk to me before, and that's how she got in the previous guild. Even though she wasn't like the greatest healer, she got in there and she stayed there and she raided with them. That's how she did it. So of course, now it's apparent to me that that's what she was trying to do with me. She was trying to fix her position in the guild as well, you know, by being kinda slutty, because of course looks like she knew that she wasn't like the greatest player ever. So that's what she did. She spoken to me in those voices, and apparently she stopped speaking to Steve like that, and he was kind of mad. But me and Steve, you know, we were buddies, and you know, buddies don't really talk about that to each other. Yo, this girl, you know, when would we speak about girls? Well, we should, but Steve was a very introverted kind of a person. He never really spoke to people other than on Ventrilo. He never really spoken to people in real life much. He was basically living at home and just playing games all time long. He wasn't even going to school. His mother was, you know, there to take care of him, and that was it. So he didn't really want to speak to me about that, and I didn't know about it before, you know. So there it goes. Here it goes. So one other thing that I must mention: the start of new guild. Chops was a shadow priest, and he wanted what is it called? The legendary for Firelands. I don't remember what the staff was named, but he wanted that. And since we were all just coming back to Warcraft, we were all fine. Yeah, sure, we're gonna help you once a week. We're gonna clear Firelands, and we'll help you get the weapon. Sure, why not? We're gonna be fine. So that's what we did every week, while we had an off day for raiding Firelands, helping Chops get his legendary, because we knew that eventually it's gonna help us as the guild to grow. So the holidays come and gone. I still am living with Axie, even though we're not together anymore. And we start progressing more Chalk. I was Hunter back then, and apparently there was no other awesome class to tank the second Morchalk, the Korchom, or whatever he was called. You needed basically 4 tanks. You needed 2 off tanks that didn't need to be tanks, they just needed immunity. And that's when I came in as a hunter. Easy mode, right? I'm a very tanky class, why wouldn't I do it? So yes, basically you had a glyph of Raptor Strike back then that you could use to gain decreased damage taken. It would decrease your damage taken for a bunch. And of course you had the Tyrants as well, so you could use both together, or just one, or something like that. You could do that, and that would make things perfectly fine for tanking. Unfortunately, I like doing DPS, I consider myself to be a good DPS, and I like doing DPS. Back then, the Hunter still had the minimum range requirement, and you couldn't just go in there and shoot the boss. We still had melee weapons on our backs back then. Not just survival hunters as they do now, but every hunter had melee weapons on their backs, and that's what we had to do. So I went in there and used my Raptor Strike, which was a melee ability, and I couldn't hit the boss with my bow. Actually, in Dragon Soul they started changing that on some bosses. I think your Sash or whatever it was called, it was already it was removed, and then after that in the next expansion, Mystic Pandaria, it was completely removed. So you know, that was the last stages. But yeah, I did that and I felt really proud. It wasn't like a hard thing to do. I just needed to run in there, use my immunity or whatever, and you know, help the tanks. But it felt great because I was playing a class that could do something different that other classes couldn't. You know, I felt useful, and that's what really made me wanna play a bit more. Even more than I was already playing. So basically, I was a failed student. Definitely was. So what I did for next 6 months, I just sat there, never went to studies, you know, never went to university, just sat there, played the game all day long, and drank beer and eat chips and I don't know, you know, have fun. Basically, that was my half a year of really being, I don't know, completely wrecked. Now I look back on it, I think, oh, that was awesome times when I just played games, did nothing else, and you know, had fun. But it's kind of not a lifestyle that you could really do for a long time. It's kind of unhealthy as well. Okay, so there we go. We have a new guild. We are starting progressing on heroics. We killed Morchok after the other guild already did it. Of course, they were also trolling. There were a lot of trolling in between the guilds. So after that, I think we went for Yorsash, if that's his called. He was the guy that had the rainbow blobs on heroic. That was a really cool fight. I really could do a lot of damage there because I was playing Survival Hunter and there was a multi-shot and I could place my explosive trap down and could just AoE everything and everything would just die. That was easy mode, good damage for me. I loved it. So we killed that boss and we did it first on the Horde side. Of course, that's when we started getting recognition, and I started getting recognition because I was co-GM and I didn't do all the trolling that my other two co-GMs did. They did all the trolling on the trade chat, but I was the one trying to recruit people. I was talking on forums with the alliance guilds who were highly progressed, you know, towards the end boss. They were working on the end boss, and I got some reputation. A lot of people starting to talk to me, even though it was a small realm. So you know, if you're top on the Horde side, everyone will want to talk to you and join you and everything. Even though we are probably like 3,000 in the world or 1,000 in the world, I don't know. We are not great. I don't remember the rankings anymore. So I got a lot of people talk to me, and I recognize a lot of these people from back in Wrath of the Lich King, who were back then really good raiders. I don't know, World 300 or something. So they start talking to me and I start inviting them to the guild, you know, they, for now, just social. But my big plan was, I want to make this guild 25 man, you know, be what I thought really is the pinnacle of raiding. It's 25. We were 10 men. There was no way on that Horde side that we could ever make a 25 man just right from the start. There was not enough people. There was like 3 guilds raiding heroics. That was all on Horde side, I'm talking. So that's what we did. I started recruiting these people, and I started talking to other co-GMs, officers, that we should start with the second group. I can lead that, I can deal with it, everything, you know, whatever. I can deal with this, and we're gonna get them in, and let's hope I don't die here. We're gonna get them in, and I'm gonna train them. I'm gonna make them be part of our guild. And we're gonna slowly transition through the Dragon Soul, slowly transition into a 25-man raiding team. That's what I desired, that's what I'm gonna do. No one can stop me, this is how it's gonna be. Okay? Okay. So they said, sure, you do it, we don't care about it, you know, go ahead. And they did recruit a lot of good people. They were pretty damn awesome, and I got a dude that's gonna be officer, who's gonna lead the second team for now. You know, because I can't really join them all the time because sometimes I raid with my main team. If I could, I would join them on my alt or something, but they really didn't need me after some time because I recruited enough people to fill a full 10-man group, so I would just be taking someone else's spot. So that's what we did. I had my other second 10-man group that I was really proud of because there were some good players in there, really good players. And if we ever did transition to that 25 man, we would be rocking those meters. But Screw it. All that time, I had romantic moments with Slutty Hots. Oh yeah, I had romantic moments with her. She was basically whispering me all the time. We were talking, but never on Real ID. Real ID was something new back then in Cataclysm. There was no battle tag yet, so you did Real ID and you got the full name from the opposite person, and they got yours. So she never wanted to do that. That was already kinda, I don't know about this, you know? Also, never got any pics. Never got any pics. I know that's like a new thing that, you know, you meet a person, she's a girl, she sends you a nude right away. No, that wasn't what it was back then. But she was, you know, we were talking in Trilo, she was doing her things. Okay, someone's walking around here again. Be right back. Oh, fuck's sake, what is with all these interruptions? Oh, people walking from my house, stop doing this. Just go away, whatever. Anyway, I got some stuff delivered. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it, I'm back. Okay, so, Slutty Hots. We were talking with Trilo. She was telling me about it. She's a teacher. She was not from the same country I am. We were both from EU, quite close to each other, roughly. You know, of course, still like a 14-hour ride with a train or something, but you know, that's considerably close. And she was talking to me that she's a teacher. She earns quite a lot of money. I could go and visit her, something like that. She could pay for my train ride. Said, yeah, you know, think about it, you know, let's just keep on going with this. And she was, of course, speaking nasty thing that she would happily be doing. And of course, you're a guy, 21 years old, you're single, why wouldn't you, you know, participate in the conversation? Of course you would, right? Of course you would, and that's what I did. So we had a lot of these conversations. But the thing was, we were slowly progressing to heroics, and I saw, and all the other GMs, co-GMs, officers, members, we all saw that she's not gonna cut it. She's not there for the long run. She cannot be in this guild if we wanna be what we were set out to be. So she starts sitting out on more and more fights. You know, we were at that point. I don't know. We probably killed like 5 or 6 out of 8. 5 probably, yeah, probably 5 out of 8 heroic bosses. And you know, she was already sitting out on a lot of them. I even recruited another druid healer who was like 100 times better than her, and she was kind of mad, but sure. So one time she comes to me with an idea that we together, me and her and I, we should go and move to another realm that she knows. A great guild, another realm. They are highly progressed. I think they had the same progress that we did, but you know, they were highly progressed. And they were 25 men, for which I was really gunning for. You know, she knew that. She knew that's what I'm trying to do. And she tries me to do it, and finally came in and said, "Sure, I'm gonna write the application with you. That's fine. It's completely fine." And I do it, and we had to include our logs and stuff. And then a couple of days after, I told my GMs, co-GMs, that I'm gonna do it. I told Chops and Steve I'm gonna do it, but that I'm definitely not leaving. I'm just, you know, still trying to be friendly with her, trying to tell her not to leave, because we could still use her for the 25 men, at least for the start, you know. It's hard to get any decent players in this realm, so it would be harsh if she left, even though in the long run she wouldn't really be in. I know this is harsh look, but that's how raiding works, basically. You really do want to keep that one player that you know that's not the greatest, but you never know when someone else is gonna leave and you need a spot, and you know, it's easier to have someone there on hand than try to bug someone or find someone else, you know, at a moment's notice. So that's how it works. That's what we did, and we applied to that guild. And after some time, after a couple of days, I get a tell from the GM from this other guild, and we spoke to each other, and he said, "Look, the problem is here. If you really wanna join together, we can't take you. Her logs are not great, but your logs are good. I would love to take you in. You know, you seem like a good player, and but her logs are, you know, just not gonna make it. Said, you know, I kind of know. I realized that. Said, look, we're gonna take her. If you wanna really come together, we're gonna take her, but we can't promise her a stable spot. But there's a problem. We already have 2 hunter recruits right now, so we can't really take you on a hunter. Would you play another class? I said, no, I'm a hunter. I'm a hunter by heart. I will always play a hunter. Needless to say, that was my last year as a hunter main. Never played a hunter in heroics, mythics, and so on after that. But still, at that point I was, no, I'm a hunter. Sorry. So, never happened anything with that guild. At least for me. So, she gets declined. Sure. She's fine. Gonna stay here. It's gonna okay. Just took a sip. Sorry for that. And you know, at that point, we are progressing on War Master Blackhorn. Not the hardest fight. We're doing quite okay. But there's trouble with the second team. My troll co-GMs started kind of a tug war with the leader of my 10-man group. He was a really good player. He could easily be one of the top in our guild. You know, easy mode. He was really good. And they didn't like the influence he had on the other players. And it didn't, you know, they didn't really like my influence on, or well, the influence I had on that second 10-man team, because if there was something, they would always come to talk to me. They would always treat me as I was the GM, and they didn't really consider even talking to those two. You know, they were co-GMs, but they were both huge trolls, so why would you, right? If your GM is a troll that, you know, always just laughs you off, or, you know, just does something stupid to you, why would you, right? So they all spoke to me. That's when the trouble began. They started trolling the other group. There's a big fight, and that friend of mine was the leader of the second group. We became real good friends after that, you know. He decides to leave. He said, look, I don't need to take this bullshit. I came here. We really have a good connection, you and I. We can do a lot of good stuff together, but I'm not gonna be in a guild led by these morons. I tried to talk them back in, but most of the other team left. So right now, my 25-man dreams are non-existent. I can't do it. Well, screw it. I said, dude, we're gonna talk about this later. Right now we're progressing one War Master. I can't really do it right now. We'll speak about it later. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna fix it. Needless to say, I could never fix it. we lost the second group, and thusly we lost the 25-man. I was not happy, but I'm always an optimist. So I said, you know what? We're gonna fix this. Coming for Mists, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna do it. We're gonna have a great team. Our A team was good now that you know, Slutty Hots was not really in the team anymore, and also the Retard DK wasn't even in the team anymore. But they were always there. They were our subs basically. Now we kill War Master, and the long progress on Spine begins. Of course, most people don't like the fight. I as a hunter really did like it, because eventually with the strategy that we got eventually working in killing the Spine after I don't know how long time, was that me and another tank, we would be positioned on the other side, and he would be taunting and grabbing all the blobs that would be spawning towards me, and I would use my explosive trap and other abilities to just melt them down, kill them in one single spot where they could be grabbed and tanked from later on when they spawn or something. I don't remember how it actually worked, but that really worked well for us, and I really enjoyed doing something special again. That's what I like in this game. If you raid and you have a special assignment, not just dealing DPS and trying to stay alive, but having a special assignment and doing both of those things together as well, that really makes it feel like you did something special for the group, and it feels amazing to me. That's what I like. Even though it could be intimidating at the start, it makes the fights much easier and much more enjoyable, in my opinion. Of course, I'm not representative of majority of raiders, so I don't know what you guys like or don't like. So, here we go. We progress on Spine. Things go quite well. We're doing good as a guild, even though we lost the second team. That's fine. I'm happy. That was the point when Axie shows up again. She came to me. I was living in this small apartment now. Actually, it was a bigger apartment house where there was like 5 of us students. Everyone had his own room. We had a shared kitchen and a bathroom. You know, so that's all we had. But there was one catch: no visitation. But of course, I would say, hey, Axie, remember the fun times we had? And she said, yeah, I need to stay for a night here. I'm doing something. Can I stay with you? Sure, no problem. I'm a good person. You can stay with me. Of course, it's not gonna come easy. You're gonna get banged if you want to stay here. Sure. Not that how it went the conversation, but that's how it ended up being. So this was now the second time she was visiting me, and that was probably somewhere in March, because I remember we killed the spine in March, so that was around then. And she comes here, no visitors. I sneak her in, get her in, and she said if I had something to drink. I said sure, I'm gonna buy a beer or something. I don't know. I went to the store. It was like 10-minute walk away. I said sure, I'm gonna do it. No, it was like 5 minutes, so 10 minutes together. 5 in one direction, 5 in the other. I left my Warcraft on because I was playing, because I wanted to show her how masculine I am, that I'm playing this game now that I'm, here on my own and she cannot stop me. I am playing this game, oh yeah. Obviously, right now this doesn't feel as good as it did back then, but, sure, that's what I did. Left it on, and that's something I didn't know, but Slutty Hots whispered to me her, usual stuff that she would like to be with me in a more physical contact or something. I don't know what she was whispering. And Axie sees that, and she once played Warcraft with me for a day, and so she knew how to operate the machine, even though she wasn't really brilliant in her head. To say this, I might seem insulting here, but I'm sorry if I do, but no, that's just the way things were. So, okay, and apparently she wrote her to fuck off, basically. I didn't see that happen, but that's basically what happened. So that's what she did. She told her to fuck off, and when they come back, we had some fun. We drank some beer. We watched TV, and then we went to bed to sleep. Just sleep. That's all we need. Or maybe more. Okay, I admit there might be maybe more. Never mind. So next morning, she's gone. She goes back to whatever she wanted to do. I'm fine. I log in onto my computer. I go to play WoW to see all hell break loose. Because I get attacked by the Slutty Hots. What the hell was doing? Who was that chick? What she is doing here? I said, what the hell is going on? So she tells me what happened. That apparently she told her to fuck off, that I'm her man, which I wasn't anymore. But still, apparently she didn't like me talking to other ladies, even though they were internet ladies and never saw the pictures. They might have looked like Goblin, but I don't know. So that's when she throws a fit. I said, you know what, I can't be asked to deal with this. Look, there's nothing really going on between me and you, and there's nothing going on between Axie and I. So I don't know what the hell you're doing. I'm a free agent. I don't care. Just stop. And she's angry. She's mad, and she leaves the guild. And after some time, she leaves the realm as well. And there she goes. Here she goes. She actually went to that guild that we applied. That's something I learned later on, I think from, I don't remember who told me that, but it was another friend that later on went to that same realm. Basically, she went there, made an alt, and started talking to, or maybe she already had an alt there, I don't know. And she started talking to one of the officers in there, and they started talking on Ventrilo and stuff, and she coerced him to get her into the guild, basically without needing to apply. So she got into that guild. Yeah, she did. She applied the same thing that she did on me and she did on Steve. She must have been pretty smart, and we men were pretty dumb. But that's how the world works, right? Okay, so at that point, it's the end of March. We finally killed the Spine. Awesome, we did it. Spine is dead. Now all we need to do is just go and kill Deathwing. We had only like half an hour on our schedule at that point to kill Spine. Well, to try out Deathwing after we killed the Spine, and we did so. We practiced. We were even talking about trying to extend and raid another extra day in that week, just to see if we could kill him, because he wasn't that hard. But some people couldn't come, so I said, okay, next week we clear everything and we kill Deathwing, and we're done with this tier. We're gonna be first in the Horde, and I know 4th on the realm in total. You know, from being a 0, it was pretty good for us first tier, and we knew that we could be even much greater come the next expansion the next year. So sure, come next week. Not enough people. People didn't log on. Apparently, a lot of people got so exhausted by progressing the Spine that they just decided, meh, not gonna bother today. There's gonna be enough people. But if you miss like a couple people every time, it's not good. So we actually missed 2 days of raiding out of our 3 days that week. First 2. And on the 3rd one, we're still missing some people. So I said, oh, okay, let's go and let's try to see if we can pug a couple. That went terribly. I think we killed like 4, maybe 5 bosses on Heroic, and that was all. It was horrible. We all got mad. But at that point, people kind of started returning, but we're still missing one person, one good person. And I was trying to recruit at all times. And I got this awesome rogue. He was like a week away from his legendary daggers that were dropping. Well, that he needed to get some drops or something. I don't know exactly how it worked. From the Dragon Soul. And he comes here, he transfers on our dead realm from his better realm, you know, in the hopes of glory and everything, because we were promising Horde first this time around, and next time around we're gonna be going for realm first and ever higher rankings, you know. And he was cursed, I got him. He goes here, he transfers, and that took some time, so we couldn't do our first raid of the week. I think it was like usually on Thursdays. And we said, okay, on the 2nd raid, on Sunday, we go in there, we clear everything, we kill it. That's gonna be awesome, you know, we're gonna finally do it. As I take a sip of my tea again, let's go into the finals of this story that has been going on for a long time now. I'm sorry, it might be a long story, I don't know. Okay, so, I should mention that in that week, because we couldn't really raid Dragon Soul, we also went to Firelands as we did every other week, and that was the point where we finished, finally, the legendary for our guildmaster, the Shadow Priest, Chops. So he got his legendary and he was happy and all. So on Friday, as I usually went home on Fridays, and I didn't play any games during the weekend, I just went out with friends and shit like that. I was completely disconnected from these guys. So I go out on Friday, and on Sunday afternoon I come back, really excited. Oh, we're gonna go and we're gonna finally clear everything in Dragon Soul. We've been waiting for this a long time now. Let's do this, boys, let's do this. I come home, come to my apartment, log on, and lo and behold, I'm guildless. So what the fuck happened? How am I guildless? What happened? I was completely shocked. I didn't know what to do. So I see some people in Real ID, my friends that were also in the guilds. I see them guildless as well. So I talked to some of them. Chops and Steve weren't on Real ID. They actually weren't there. They weren't logged on. So okay, fair enough. So I talked to some of these people. They said, look, this is what happened. Chops, apparently, our guildmaster, with Steve, they applied to like top, I don't know, 300 guild or something, and they did that a couple of times already. They were always declined. But now that Chops had his legendary, they would take him, so they would take Steve as well. But Steve had to wait a bit. So Chops comes and says, oh, finally got the application I wanted. Goodbye, everyone. I'm gonna give the guild to Steve, and you do whatever you want to do. Even though Steve was accepted as well. I wasn't there for the drama. Of course, everyone was shocked. So Chops leaves, and Steve got said, Steve got the guild. says, "Oh, I am leaving as well, going to the same guild." I don't know why Chop's giving him the guild master, but he did. So, I'm leaving as well. You guys, I don't know what to do. You know, I want to give the guild to someone, and who he picks? Who he picks? He picks the most retarded guy in the guild, the most fucked up dude I ever met in World of Warcraft. The retard DK, the biggest troll in the realm. He gives that to him. He gives the guild master to him. Later on, I asked Steve, why didn't you wait for me and give it to me? I and some other guys who were still in the guild, we could definitely keep the guild going, and we would be doing great as well, because we had some great players. I could finally talk to those people that left the guild before from the second group, just because these two guys were trolling them, and we would really be able to establish a good guild together. And I said, nah, I couldn't be asked to wait for you to log on, because you were gone for a day and a half or something like that. Of course I was mad. And what Retard DK did is that when he got the guild, he instantly started kicking everyone, started to tell them to fuck off and stuff like that, and decided to sell the guild, because back then the guild still has levels, and they were easy money if you had a good high level guild, especially with a bunch of achievements and something like that. Easy money. So that's what he did. He sold our guild, and here I am. I was hoping we'll finally kill Deathwing, and I was just screwed. I was, you know, just sad. Everything collapsed. You know, everything basically collapsed. So let's finish this story. Let's conclude it. Let's stop. After that, I really didn't feel like playing on my main. There was no real guilds on the realm that would fit my main. So I played my alt shaman. I applied to the third port guild, and of course they accepted me right away. Geared me up soon, and I progressed through Spine, and then finally killed Deathwing. That was my first time healing during the raid. I really enjoyed healing, and I don't know why. Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed playing a shaman healer, and that's why for the next two expansions, whenever I was progressing through Mists and the World of Draenor, which is basically when I really stopped raiding after the High Maul, or well, in the High Maul progression, I was healer. Always healer after that. Never played my hunter really in high tiers again, sadly, even though I love my hunter. That's what I did. There was only one time that I tried to resurrect my hunter, and that was after we killed Deathwing with this guild, and you know, I knew I'm not gonna stay with them because they were casual. They didn't express any intentions of really doing anything, you know, good, but by then there was high buffs and everything in the or maybe nerfs, I don't know. I think it was nerfed by a lot percentage, so you could really kill it easy mode. So I tried, before Mr. Paneria, I tried getting a bunch of people, some of the people that we played together in the guild before, and some extra, you know, from the second group and so on, and I really got a good group together. I was the GM, I was the raid leader. That turned out to be a bad idea. I was a bad raid leader. Not that I didn't know tactics or stuff like that. I just, I wanted things to be done. After I said things once, I expected people to understand them and know what I said. So I got in a fight with some of the people, and a bunch of them left because they were a big clique of players who, when I didn't really, you know, I told their kind of a ringleader that he didn't follow my instructions. That's why he died, and that's why he was bad. He was trying to tell me that he was doing whatever he wanted to do because, you know, I don't know what. Doesn't really matter. Basically, the guild fell apart. There was like half of us left, and we decided to go transfer to our realm, which was highly populated. I mean, our realm was dying pretty much. So we did. Got a new guild together. I was still GM, still a raid leader, and our 10-man group started okay with the first normal modes. But of course, again, I wanted to push 25-man, so our other 10-man group was really good, was really fitting it. I had a job already working there in weird hours, so couldn't be there all the time, so eventually it all fell apart, and that was the last time I really raided with my hunter. So, in the meantime, I stopped visiting, well, I stopped the visits from Axie, even though she wanted to go back together with me. Apparently she just needed like a half a year off so he can fuck whoever she wants, and then comes back to me like nothing happened. But you know, I met a great girl. With her I'm still with today. That's 5 years later. I met her. We're still together 5 years later on the line. She plays Warcraft as well. Well, at least she did. We played together a lot and even did some raiding together in Mists. Yeah, I'm playing another server. Since then, I have not really spoken to many people back in that old realm, which I miss. You know, there was great people. I really knew a lot of them. And as for Slotty Hots, she apparently still does her thing. Yeah, apparently she still raids, and apparently she's still not great, because there's a friend of mine who plays with her, so she's still old her. Yeah, I'm a different person now. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this story. I know it might have been boring for people that don't play WoW, but this is, you know, this is what I like to do. I like storytelling. I wished to start something here. I wanted to tell a story. And I have a lot of stories from Warcraft, I have a lot of stories from League of Legends and other games, although of course online games do provide the best stories. Of course you can tell me your own stories as well, and if it's a great story I can even share it here, I can tell it here. I would love to. Just, you know, just be anonymous. Don't, you know, don't say things like your name or anything. I would love to do that. Also, tell me if you enjoyed the story, tell me if it was boring, tell me if, you know, just me riding on my bike here is terrible and boring and all that kinds of stuff. But, yeah, for now, thank you for watching this episode. I do hope you enjoyed it. Comments, shares, likes, all appreciated. You know what you have to do. I don't know, you don't need to do anything, but you can do stuff for me, like saying, hey, this guy was kind of cool telling his story, even though it took like half a day and it kind of got boring in the middle, and you know, but still kind of great. Yeah, but yeah, for now, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time with another story, and maybe that's gonna be your story that I'm gonna be telling. But yeah, for now, have fun, and I'll see you.